and welcome to Werks. Today we're going to talk about a few completed projects and a couple really cool things that I received, a couple gifts. First one was from my wife. This is my EDC. This is what I carry almost all the time. I've had this for years. I think the first year since these came out. This is a second blade that's in there. Unfortunately, the steel's not super great on those, but it's also, fairly inexpensive to order a replacement. You can buy any one of the skillet tools, and the blades are interchangeable. And I bought a replacement one for $10, or off eBay, a used one which was unused, and just swapped out the knife from one to the other. And my youngest girl actually just ordered for my birthday present a Magna Cut blade for the skillet tool. So I'm super excited to get that. It's shipping from Taiwan, so it's going to be a while. Probably won't get it in time for my birthday, but she let me know she got that. Now, as a Valentine's present, my wife surprised me with this. She asked me if I had a bead that I would like to give her. She said she was working on a project, and I gave her the bead, the whitetail bead from Brother Chad. From Brother Charlie. I was looking at a note over here on my side. This is from Brother Charlie with Cook's Customs, and she made me this lanyard for my knife, and man, it's unique. It's great. She made it in the color combination that she knows I like, that I've been fond of for years, ever since we started seeing each other. This is the Charlotte Hornet colors, and used to be a real big basketball fan. I got into Charlotte Hornets quite a bit in the 90s. I mean, what 90s kid didn't? But this is my EDC. I love it. It's very nice. It works. It's practical, and it's easily identifiable, and it fits well in the pocket. So thank you, babe. Love you for that. Now, Brother Chad, who I was looking over here on a note, I did a trade with. He's a subscriber, and I won't go into the details with the trade, but in the box, he included a couple cool things. He sent me this buck crosslock, and he said it was a deputy model. And when I talked with him, he said when he picked this up, he initially liked it because he thought this was a gut hook. But he said as he started looking at it, he realized that was a little too small to be a gut hook. And he did a little research on it, and he found out that this was a pry bar / scraper, and this was a seatbelt cutter, and this was called a deputy. And he said after he found that out, he instantly thought of me. He said, "Thank you for your service," and he gifted that to me. Thank you, Chad. I really appreciate that. It's a really nice knife. Now, the thing that really caught my attention in the box, and not that that was less important of a gift, it was just, it was as equally thoughtful as this one, but this one has a little more meaning. It did to him, now it does to me. But he ended up getting me this, or giving me this, and I knew instantly that that was some kind of canine jaw. I was thinking it was a coyote jaw, and when I spoke with him, he did say it was a coyote jaw. And the story behind this is he ended up getting this coyote off of his farm, and on the coyote, the jaw, he had 2 knives made from a local knife maker, and he kept one and he gave one to his son, and he sent me the one that he had for himself. And as weird as it sounds, or it looks like when you're holding this, it looks like it'd be uncomfortable. That has to be one of the more comfortable knives I've held in my hand in the respects of like grip and, I mean, it's almost like natural finger grooves that go in there. And the knife maker did take down most of the, or I should say all of the hot spots on those teeth, including on the canine. But man, I don't know what to say other than thank you so much. That is such a cool, thoughtful gift. I really, really appreciate that. That's something I'll never see here in Alaska. That's something that definitely is a conversation piece. And the fact that you got this on your own and went through the process of having a knife made out of it by a local knife maker is, truly, truly fantastic. And it definitely is something that I'll cherish. Thank you so much, Brother Chad. This is just a part of something I got ready for a few of something that's going out to Mud Mac at Mud House. But I worked on some ivory studs, and those are walrus ivory. I gotta get Mac's box packed up today and sent to him. He's going to be lucky recipient of one of the anvils, or the last anvil that I had available. I'm looking forward to see what he does with it. Now, another cool find that I ended up picking up off of eBay was a tested era Case Classic from the 90s from Mr. Howard's run of the show. And I'm getting this moose pattern. I only got 2 other classic knives. I got one more on the way, and I can't wait to show you guys that one. I think that one comes in today. And that one, the one that's coming in today, is a gift, a birthday gift from my wife. But definitely a super cool knife. I mean, that screams Mr. Howard all day long. And there's a reason why these are collectible. I got this for a fraction of what they normally sell for because eBay listing did not have the keywords that I would think are normally searched for. I ended up getting this for $150, and they sell for well over $200 plus, pushing $300. So that was a hard one to resist. So, got a few other things, but I think I want to keep this video under 20 minutes. As you can see, I mean, the elephant in the room is right below us right here. So these are Nate's, and let me go over the one you guys kind of have been seeing on my channel here and there, unused, or unfinished, not unused. So this is a Case Lockhorn, and this is with Mammoth Ivory. And as I suspected, everything, showed up. This one had those deeper scars in there that I had to fill with CA glue. You can see it right there when the light catches it, but you can't feel it. Definitely a super cool, unique piece. This one was pretty fun to make. I did gray liners to bring up the material because the material was thin. And I think that it gives it a really unique look to it. And that might be that natural material, that blue color that comes out. There was that blue mineral color that was starting to form on these tusks. The cool thing about this is the tusks came from my nephew that lives out in Elam, Alaska. And my nephew found a pretty large mammoth tusk after we had that bad storm this past October. And he asked if I wanted the bark, and the bark is what they call the outside of the tusk, that was laying on the side around it. And I said, of course. And this is after I dried it out, and it dries pretty quick because it's real thin. Ended up making this for Nate. And I knew this was probably going to be the material I chose when he sent this, simply because he had shown me a picture of what he was wanting to get, or looking at and wanting this to look like or similar to. And this one just screamed this material, to use this material. Now, the stand, as you could see, is made from that same material, but I put it as a veneer on a piece of curly maple that's been dyed. And the maple's not supposed to be the star of the show. Rarely would it get seen, but I wanted it to be a nice piece of wood. And of course, it's on the charred oak, the Shoshugibon oak. And there's a piece of teak wood, and teak wood is pretty good as it resists a lot of swelling and a lot of shrinking because of its oil content. And that's why they use it on ships and things around the marine areas. But it's a thin piece of wood that fits in the channels, and man, that was it took a little bit after I got the shape in there and I was drilling that. I was so worried I was going to pop out on the sides, and there was just a minimum amount of room I can get that in there, and I'm glad that I was able to navigate that. But Nate, the way this works is this actually comes out, and as you could see, it's kind of friction fit in there because I did peen over the end a little bit because I wanted there to be a minimal movement, side to side movement when you get this in there. So the way this works is you get this in the channel, you line up the center with the center of that, the center of this, and then you push on the wood, not on the pin, push on the wood. And after that's in place, you take and you support it down further on the rod, and you feed it down and gently push it in place. And it stays pretty good, but that is how it's displayed. Now, what I was pointing at earlier, this is kind of a surprise to Nate. He wanted it done in a different handle material, and I hope he's not going to try to string me up for this, but I upgraded ivory. And this is an elephant toe. This is a 65 to 69 elephant toe. And when you work with natural materials, you never know how it's going to end up looking. You hope you know, and experience kind of helps guide some of that. But I had to raise it up because of the way when I was flattening the ivory, it got a little too thin on one end. Not so thin I couldn't use it, but I had to raise it with some liners. And I wanted to use liners that kind of made it pop instead of trying to hide it like this, because if I put white, I mean, yeah, it kind of would have blended in from a distance, but anyone looking at it would have saw what it was. And I thought I wanted this to kind of just pop to the eye. And this is a pile side, and what I'm referring to is right there, you can see where it thinned out a little bit towards the end, but it's all blending in well, and it has liners. It's not going all, you can't see all the way to the bottom, but that is absolutely a very old ivory. It's big bull, and you could see the definition in those fissures or those cracks. And this is the show side. And as you can see, there is no dots. And these nail breakers, these elephant toes, have some pretty big springs. And of course, I did the matching base. Wanted to give a little different part of the ivory showing the inside. And of course, there's a back. If he chooses to spin it around, he can display it that way, you know. But this is the way I envisioned it being displayed. And that's how it will look. So happy late birthday, Nate. You know, with that, 50 years old, that's a milestone to get to. And, you know, I'm happy to know you, and I really appreciate your friendship. I did put 2 magnets on here because this needed it to keep it still. I'll do a short of these so it gets a little, and some more photos so you guys can see it without my hands in the way and my stained fingers and fingernails and stuff, you know, give you guys a clean look. But man, I don't think I could be any more happy with how both of those turned out. You know, they're both, I would love to have these in my collection. I didn't mention this earlier, but if he wanted to, for some reason, there's some magnets on here that he can display it that way. So Nate, it was fun. And honestly, I'm glad to get these off my plate. They were pretty high stress knives, especially when you get a knife that has a value of both of these. They didn't have any sentimental value, but the Lockhorn itself, I mean, that's an expensive knife without these handles. With the handles, this is now not only an expensive knife, but it's probably an irreplaceable knife, and it's one that is a family heirloom. And Nate promised that he'd put it in his will that I get this back when he passes away, and this one too. All kidding aside, Nate, you know, again, man, I can't wait till you get these. I'll be mailing these out this week. I want to make sure that I pack them properly. I want to make sure I don't forget anything in the box. that I'm getting out to you. And I look forward to the next project. And I know Nate has insinuated on or hinted at a few things that he wanted to send me in a few of his videos, and I got one of those on the way up right now, or at least maybe one and a couple more, which is fantastic. So what this means is I am now 2 more projects out of my way and moving on to the next ones in my queue. And I usually try to do that at the beginning of the week. I think it's a good fresh start. And I really look forward to getting those completed as well. So, you know, you guys, I really appreciate your guys' support. We're just past 800 subscribers. So what I'm going to do is turn off the comments. Disable the comments for the subscriber giveaway at midnight tonight, Alaska time. And I'm probably going to do the drawing here sometime this week for the 800 subscriber giveaway. And I don't know what else to say other than thank you. This has definitely been a lot of hard work, but the hard work has paid off. I definitely feel like I have received more, especially in friendship, than I could ever have possibly imagined. And when I worked on specifically these knives and the knives of the guys previously, even of the subscribers that I'm working on now, through the process, they have become close friends. And I feel like that required communication of somebody who wants something done, and somebody who, a custom job. Let's say if somebody wanted something like this done, you have to open up communication with them. And in doing so, that opens up the door to learning a lot more about them and seeing what similarities and what common interests, aside from knives, that you have. And that to me has been one of the greatest things that I have received out of this YouTube channel. I can tell you that I wish I had more time so I could speak to every single one of you. However, I just don't have that time, and my time that I have spent speaking with people has been a lot longer than I expected. And that's why I said I just don't have the time, because if I get somebody on the phone like Brother Billy Silvers, I know we're not going to stop talking for an hour. You know, Dan with Dirt Fishing Dad, I can speak to him for an extremely long time. Nate, Casey, Thomas, I talk to those guys all the time. They just have been, been there. They have been there for not only questions I have or just to talk and to vent, but I've been there for them when they needed to do so as well. And that's exactly what a friend is. And I spoke a little bit about friendships last week during the Fatwood Friday. And I hope you see that this is a recurring theme that I just absolutely am enthralled by the amount of people that have become close friends in such a short amount of time, and the amount of subscribers who have showed the support that they have is something that I could never have imagined would have happened. The amount of individuals, the amount of you guys who have saw my son and my granddaughter and seen that they enjoy collecting, and you guys thought of them, not only of me, but you thought of my family. That's heart, and that's love, and that's something that I absolutely appreciate. And with all that, you guys, I told you I want to keep it under 20 minutes, and here I am 24 minutes later, still going on about things. But I'll be posting another video here shortly. I do have a few other things I want to show, some new arrivals, and I'm going to be posting or working on a video in my workshop on some of the new projects coming up, and hopefully I can bring you guys along on those builds, at least more so than I did with these. And you guys can see little bits and pieces of how I work on things, and maybe in the end I can piece or string one knife together for you guys. But anyways, you guys stay warm, you guys stay safe. This is James with Werks. Cleon.